Hey, brothers and sisters, welcome to another video. Just before it came down just to it, I don't even care about what they say because we're here for an edifying show. For it is for our Father's hands. I could sing some more, or maybe I should stop. But it's a wonderful day before I go to sleep. So we're going to talk about what? Edifying, as always. Okay? We're going to talk about edifying, and we're going to talk about love, always, and no toxicity. And I always talk about the lives and everything. Now, the topic for today, as far as the interactions that I make on these live sessions, is what? Money is the only Christ you need. That was the topic of what people were discussing, right? People that are non-Christians. They play contradicting and double standard the scenario, right? If you don't believe, you just don't believe. There's no reason for me to tell you that you have to believe. My job is to what? Teach, not to convict. So if you believe and you use your logic, that's fine. I didn't come here to go against you, to put you down, to speak of anything disrespect. I'm here because I'm brought to be here. I speak of truth and in love because that is what is meant to happen. Not because I came here to argue with people. I speak my mind. If I know something, I'm going to tell you. And if I don't know something, I'm going to tell you. And if I do know something, and I just don't think you're actually being genuine about wanting to learn, I just won't say anything. I'll keep that information to myself. It's not my job to convict you. It's my job to answer you in the best of the possibilities that I can. If I can see that you're not genuine, why should I answer you in the sense of you disrespecting my father? I don't want to argue with you. I have no means to argue with you. But the topic, money is the only Christ you need. So if money is the only relevant thing in this world, right? Because some people are saying that, oh, you can't travel without money. You everything that you do, you need money. Now imagine I have the skill and it's called being a mason, right? I'm able to do woodwork, right? I could construct, deconstruct. I so much to a point where if I want to dig a hole in the ground, right, and smelt, for those that play RPG, and just smelt metal that I could find out in the open, you know, uh, landscape that has nothing but rocks and possible metals, right? I can bring those rocks and possible metals, break it down, and melt those metals and give it a defined shape, like nails, for example, an axe, for example, right? I can start fire that most people can't out of just natural substances without using a, you know, gasic fluid, right? I can filter water, generate electricity. I understand how to hunt. I know how to clean when it comes to chemistry. I'm very versed with that. In what way is money a god when everything is given free? It's basically like saying that the only way, if money were to leave the country, right, and the people that don't have skills, they're gonna lose their life. They're gonna lose their entirety of existence because why? They don't have the cognitive ability to survive. They don't have that personal ability to logically think, hey, you know, I know exactly how to use a compass without using a compass that's called a compass. I know how to navigate through the stars. I know how to navigate through daytime. They don't know all of these things. I know exactly what true north is. I know exactly what the sun means when it comes to this time, When winter comes to this time, I have to harvest this. I know how to agriculture. I know about agriculture. When it comes to, I'm partially a chemist. When it comes to technology, if I want to have a phone, I'm pretty sure that I can manufacture a phone and have something to watch if I really, really need it. Let alone a satellite panel, a radio, an antenna. All of these things that we learn in basically middle school all the way to high school without having to have a need or drop of college experience. And also my personal research, because I did attend a college, but it wasn't for long. What about that? Because most people, if they don't have money to go to, give me one moment, please. Forgive me. Most people, if they don't have the accessibility of a market, where are they going to go and buy food from? They're going to starve because they don't know how to hunt. They're going to either turn into cannibals or they're going to starve, let alone some of them don't even know how to plant their own garden. And if they do, they don't have any other skills besides having to knowing how to make money. They're born by knowing the concept of how to make money, and they leave this and they depart of this world and give the spirit by learning how to make money, and that's the entirety of their goal. By giving somebody your time, which is in exchange for money, and when you make a whole bunch of money, are you content? Do you live in a sense of contentment? Are you satisfied? Because what happens when somebody come up with something that is literally the same product, right? Just with a different design, and you're just like, I'm gonna go and spend $300,000 out of the $400,000 that I got in my savings just so I can get that. So most people say they get it for themselves, but they get it to impress others. So are we going off about our own logic, or are we going off of the fact that people are getting money because they want to make money, or is it because they want to feel like they can live a certain lifestyle because they want to? Like I asked the brother, he said, that is that a bastard question? That I asked, how can it be a bastard question? If you don't have the skill to survive, money will be irrelevant, even if it comes to trading, because what are you going to trade if you do not have the ability or the skill to understand these simple little things? You're gonna be dependent on somebody's understanding or ability to what? To go in the field, dig holes, right? Put seeds, water, and be attentive to those things, let alone direct animals so you can have a herd of things, maybe even sheeps, just so you can have clothes. Or have certain cotton fields so you can have clothes or certain type of clothes. Those are skills. Mind you, people are thinking about money, saying that money is your God. Money is not a God. If money was a God, right, people wouldn't need to have the means of a skill. So people are functioning with the aspect of using people for the exchange of money. Because at the end of the day, you can say that people are not going to do it for free, but we're exchanging something for money, but not resources, though. Money is not a resource. Mind you, there's gold in your phone. So that means that what? Energy can pass through these components. There's silver, there's iron. Your phone can be technically a walking bomb, and people don't even know what the word lithium means. Lithium can be very, very explosive, especially when it's exposed to oxygen in a certain form, when there's either a spark or something like that that can ignite it. And you carrying these devices with you every single day. But money is your God, right? And this is how I look when I talk to people, right? Out of respect, I don't disrespect nobody on their panel. And even if I have my own panel, I would not disrespect nobody on my panel, right? Because why? At the end of the day, I know that at the end of the day, if you tell me that money is a god, that means that you don't have any motor skills to survive at all. And even if you do have the motor skill to survive, you will not live for long because your desires are going to come off of the natural thing, which it consists of money. Because you're going to look at it like, hey, I got money, so I can do whatever that I want, and there will be no consequences. It's mine, and it's forever going to be mine. But yet you pay taxes to people to own your land, to own your car, to drive your car out there in the daily basis. You pay taxes to do so. That's not even a constitutional law that, hey, we're supposed to pay taxes. We're not even supposed to be paying taxes. Taxes can be used for a good thing, but it's never really used all the time for good things. How can it be used for good things when people are suffering every day? And let alone there are people that are making 40, not even 40, let's just be realistic, $15,000 a year. And there's some people out here making hundreds of thousands of dollars and they barely are doing something. And we have people that are showing and literally exposing their bodies for the sake of money. If that don't show you how corrupt things are, I don't know what to say. And I'm not shaming anybody that's doing it, but I will tell you that being Christ-like is kind of, it makes sense that when you're Christ-like and you're not just following the religion, you're actually following the example of Christ, and which is what everybody is forgetting. The example of Christ is love, no judgment. You're only able to make the judgment if it's based off of the word of our Father. But hey, if you want to say that our Father is bad because you don't like consequences, what can I say about that? But yet you want our Father to intervene in your life, but you don't even want to follow not one bit of his rules. And then you blaspheme against him and then say all the stuff that you want to say and think that it's okay. I'm not going to disrespect nobody on their panel. It's not my job. Like I told some of my sisters, hey, if you were to want to save anybody's life, right, or to gain any souls, the best way is to not be disrespectful. It's to respect and understand people's perspective. But of course, you gotta also have patience. People will say whatever they want to say, as long as you're attentive and you know exactly what you're saying. It's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, most of them don't preach either. They don't, even when they say that our Father is bad, right? They don't even preach the good things that they say out of their mouth at all. At all. Either if you're a Christian, non-Christian, atheist, whatever that you want to be, they don't. All they do is mock. So disingenuous will never give you the true answer of what you seek, because at the end of the day, what are you really looking for? If you're looking for an answer, what are you really looking for? You're looking for an answer, but then you want to discredit the answer that you're looking for. What's the purpose of asking the question? If I just gave you a logical purpose or meaning, the defined description of your question can no longer exist because now there's an answer to a situation that was then a problem. So that means that you choose to not want the solution. You choose to evade that. You choose to deviate from it because there was given you gave a probable cause to your claim that, hey, there's a problem. Now there's an answer and you don't want the solution. What more can I do but be respectful and enjoy the time that I'm given, that I will give you until I happen to walk away? I gave you my time for you to understand, and you still didn't choose to understand. Okay? But the topic is, let's get into the word though. The topic is, think of Eli and others before self when sin is around. Why is that important? Well, when there's sin and you understand your purpose and you understand the purpose of why you are following this religion, right? Or not a religion. If you're following the example of Christ, right? And everything. You will always be given credit regardless, because everybody's going to discredit Christ in every way, but we always want a genuine answer, but it's always disingenuous. But they want the truth. And it's crazy how you can give them the truth in different aspects of of a parable, but then they're like, "Hey, we want to be like we want to be like Superman, or a matter of fact, a Super Saiyan. We want to be a Super Saiyan." And then you tell them, "Okay, since you want to be a Super Saiyan, I will tell you the first thing about being a Super Saiyan: mastery of your energy or your key, meaning learn how to focus, right?" Now, if I say master of energy or your key, that's me skipping a step. So, learn how to focus. Learn how to focus. Do forgive me, Father. Learn how to focus. What's the next step? Understanding what is key and what is energy and what differentiates the different feelings of what it is. Then, what is the next step? Feel it, because now you understand what it is. After that, understand this motion and in the laws and the physics of what is applied to. There are steps to it. So if you're skipping steps, obviously it's like you basically playing charades, because you were never a Christian from the beginning. You were never a Muslim from the beginning, right? You're just wandering off from place to place. I grew up in certain parts of my family as Christian, but then I deviated from Christianity and went straight to Muslim. And it wasn't really for a long time, but it was for a very short time. And me not seeing the results that I needed, I went back to being Christian. And the results were shown me being Christian. Devotedly. Experiences that I cannot even explain myself. I give you guys a story with my mom and her car, where her car literally turned on the moment I asked the Holy Spirit to intervene in the situation, and it was not working. Demons do not like me. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter how respectful I am. They just don't like me. They would manifest in people, and I would still be respectful to the person, because some of the people, I laugh, I joke around with them, but just like Christ, he sat with the politicians and the sinners, and he had no problem whatsoever still showing love to the people within, because at the end of the day, if they were gay or not, they still deserve love. It's not my job to convict or to punish anyone. That's my Father's job. So if he tells you, "Hey, this is not a good idea, because maybe if you're gay and you're doing man on man butt stuff, you might get E. coli. You might get a pink eye. You might get HIV. Is that AIDS too? I don't really know, because I don't really care personally. But I'm just saying, all of these health hazards are more commonly found in the same sex interaction than man and woman. Highly profound in statistics. That's why everybody is deviating from all of this. And I don't condone disrespect from anybody. If somebody is gay, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, brother, I still love you. I don't care how many people that don't care about you. Hey, sister, I still love you. I don't care how many people say anything bad about you. You deserve love." But one thing that I don't play about is consider yourself Christian and you're still doing that. At the end of the day, me being the type of person that I am, I want a woman, I want kids, right? So that's my own goal. If your goal is not that, I'm not going to judge you, right? I'm just gonna tell you, Christ still loves you. He loves you. He just don't like what you do. And that's being as real as I can be without me actually with me actually being as loving as I can be. As loving as I can be. Most animals they live, they don't do that. The only time when animals do that type of stuff is when they're caught in a situation that has an influence to them. Like when I was talking to some of the people on here as an example, and I was literally giving them a story or an example when men go to jail and we happen to see people turning out gay. Now, somebody and one of the brothers that is gay said that it's a sexual orientation. When I told you when it was like sexual orientation cannot be understood when you are a child. It's not possible. Because how can somebody know exactly what they like when they are a child? Now, maturity, when it comes to over a period of time, when they grow, it changes. So that's understandable. But when we're talking about 6, 7, 8 years old, there are promiscuous activities that happen, which usually leads from what? Temptation, which either comes from perverts or other kids just not knowing what they're doing. And then when they get older, societal expectations forces them to do that. So their mindset play a key in that. And this is where the devil comes in when it comes to a lot of these mindsets. So if you've done something that was gay when you were a kid, you might question your sexuality when you're older. You might not like it, but because you can't tell nobody, you might end up mentally it might make you feel some type of way. That don't mean that you like it. The same way there are people that go to jail and that get raped. They don't like it, but everybody in the jail know about it. So they're not gonna consider that person straight because they got raped. They got take they did somebody did some butt stuff with them. Either by choice or by not but no choice. So to say what? The person did not like it. I don't think anybody like when they getting raped. At all. I don't think I would never condone that stuff here. And I spoke about that video in another I spoke about that in another video when it came to women and they had to marry if they were caught, right? Majority of them got caught. They never liked it. Because something can be nurtured and something can be nature and nurture. Nature is just something that is commonly understood that hey, this is the common factor of A, B, which will give you C. Nurture is hey, I can influence A and replace it with D or F to give you still C, which might not even be C, and it'll just be C with a C root square or something. I don't even care. It's a simulation of being like something that you experience, that you feel, or that you think, or that you see. But back to the point though, that's why we need our creator because a lot of people are losing hope and they think that not believing is the best option. I don't think anybody is giving me any strong reason. And history, when it comes to the word proto-scientic, right? I made a really good statement with that, and it's like everybody is just like, "Hey, before all of this and all of that." Now, when the time when Cubalon existed, right? Um, Even if it was dominated by us melanated people, the northern regions was still had a lot of Caucasian or non-melanated people, or at least a very very light shaded amount of melanated people. But if it were to be the sense where we had and all of this is not true, right? Or some aspect of the words are not true, right? Why are they in power and we're stuck arguing about these things? Why these people are in power and we're stuck arguing about these things? And supposedly it's supposed to make sense that there's some aspect to the history of truth. The same way people are trying to make irrelevant suspicions to say that the name Moses didn't exist back then. Well, of course, duh, because obviously it was not the original name until it got translated. When people don't actually know the languages, they get confused because they're too busy reading things in English and they don't even know that some of those translations, when it comes to the history that they're reading and they get their sources from, are not even in the original language. So some of the words are not even going to be the same thing and it's not going to have the same definite definition from when you're actually reading it in English at all. Unless you sit down, you look up word for what each language came from when it came to the history in its original language from a different language being translated at the same time, knowing exactly what word and word for each word means. And that's what people are not given the time to look up, and that's why there's so much confusion. So there's instances where like certain things that I don't feel like describing, I won't describe because it's just like, bro, I'm not gonna sit down with you knowing exactly what you're reading and you're being disingenuous, right? On what and how you're expressing yourself. For me to give you an answer that you already know, that's not gonna happen. Now, the simple stuff I don't mind talking about because at the end of the day, it's important. I mean, the history is important, but at the end of the day, the main thing we need to worry about is enforcing the law of our Creator. If the tabloids, the tabernacles exist, right? Why are people not following them? Like legit, why are people not following what has been given to be of a sound logic to say love your creator? It doesn't matter in what aspect or whoever that it is, right? If you love something dearly, you're not going to destroy it, you're not going to hurt it. Our father never hurt us. He's given punishment to us when we literally, like, imagine you're told that fire burns and you're burning and you're gonna give up the spirit and you're burning up alive and you're gonna give up the spirit anyways. You think he's gonna let you continue in that path of burning up alive? No, he's gonna end it for you. As in, for those that didn't understand the logic in that, it's an analogy. Although there was not it was nothing fun to talk about. It's not fun at all when you're doing wrong and you know you're doing wrong, or if you don't know you're doing wrong and you continue to burn yourself and you're burning alive and you don't even know that you're already basically on you're already giving up the spirit and you're not knowing it. What do you think is going to happen? The same way people are like, hey, this small situations that we have control over, right? That we have control over, we're gonna call on the name of our Father to come and handle this. Yes, we should call on the name of our Father, but people are still able to make choices. So you're telling me that our Father did not give us a brain to think on how to be respectful and how to condone ourselves? When, and mind you, me being on this panel, right? I'm on this panel and I'm being respectful to people, but there are a lot of people that intend good, but the way they come off with their mouth, it seems very disingenuous. So I'm trying my best to be the example that so people don't come on here cursing left and right and they don't say a lot of inappropriate things that just don't make any sense. And this is what happens when I talk to people because it doesn't matter who it is. They try to convict and they just can't convict because their spirit is not in tune with peace. That's why when people talk to them, they're ready to argue, no matter even if it's about peace or not. They want people to talk about peace, but then when it comes to peace, they only want to be right. They don't want to be like, hey, I can understand your perspective. If that's what makes you happy, be happy. Because I have no problem saying that. Like I told people, I'm not here to convert you. The Spirit will do that. And if it does that, then it be so that you actually are willing to want to be converted. And if it's not, then it's fine. I'm not here to tell you, hey, if you say that you want to be Christian, this is what comes with being Christian. Simple. You have a problem with us being Christian. If you have a problem with us being Christian, that's fine. I can say that I don't like certain things about what people do. Does that mean that I have to I have to hate you? I have to disrespect you? No, it doesn't. Why? Because that's more love that I show you than the actual thing. Basically, I'm following exactly what I'm told to follow, and I'm doing it genuinely, not in the sense of me just doing it because I want a reward or I want to be looked at. Because I genuinely understand that, hey, you don't know. And if you did know, you would have probably been like, hey, boo, 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 boo. And that's just how I believe. But I'm not going to tell you, hey, because I feel like you don't know, I'm going to force you to feel like you don't know. No. If you believe you understand and you truly seek for truth, the truth will come to you. Of course, we're told that even when the truth will come to people, they're going to deny the truth. And that's just that simple. So why would I not believe? Mind you, there are people that practice religion, and there's the difference between practicing religion and actually following in the footsteps as the example that was Christ, that gave you a way of living. So the lifestyle of Christ, of a Christ-like mindset, people are not doing that. And that's why there's a lot of unbelievers that don't know exactly how to believe. Because why? They followed Christianity, they followed religion, they didn't follow Christ. Their motive was, hey, if I believe in Christ, then I'll be good. And I don't have to worry about being respectful, being good without cursing at people, without saying this and that and that and the third. Doesn't work that way. If you're still smoking, if you're still drinking out here, just frivolously drinking and just doing whatever stupid thing that you're doing out here, what do you think is going to happen? I'm just saying, gotta make sense a little bit. Like, it's like getting a job, right? And you're given the consistent rules of getting that job, and they tell you you can't curse at the at the what is it called again, at the visitors, the customers, right? The clients, you can't curse at them, you can't yell at them, you have to be respectful, give them every order, you just got to follow the instructions of this company. Are you going to be like, hey, no, I don't want to follow, but I still want the money? No, they're going to fire you. They're going to fire you. So consequences when it comes to cause and effect. They're going to fire you. They're going to fire you. So when I give people analogies and they just don't seem to want to grasp, at this point, only thing I can do is just enjoy the conversation, right? And just talk to people wholesomely and give them some type of knowledge for them to understand. And that I will end my entire day with what I need to, because at least I gave them the truth and they didn't choose to understand it. They didn't want to hear it. Even when they made fun of me, I still showed them respect, regardless. But let's get into the word. This is going to be in the Chronicles of Saint Luke, chapter 14. And of course, this is translation, more so a summary of the word. So I'm going to get started because we don't have much time and I don't want to keep you up more than what I have already. Then it says, Christ then went forth into the house of one of the Pharisees to feast on the Sabbath day. And there came a man with oh, I didn't think I spelled that word right. Or with a sickness. There came a man with a sickness, and he then asked the lawyers and Pharisees, is it illegal to heal a man on the Sabbath? And this is Christ asking this question. They said nothing, as Christ healed the man and went on about his day. Then asked them, after all your positions, which of you would not come to its aid at the time of need, stated in verse 5 through 6. Then spoke of a parable stated through verses 8 through 21. How can one assure his place unless one is higher in ranking than of his own? If not humble, how would you know of their place? For those with humility will be exalted. So the people that are not humble, I'm sorry to tell you, if you're not humbling and your humility is fake, sorry to tell you, your kindness is nothing but a show, unfortunately. So, like I said, I got give an example in this live that I was in earlier. I said if I have $100 bill, right, and I gave somebody $100 bill, knowing that these people took cocaine, the drug, right, knowing that they're gonna go and spend it on drugs, am I doing that person a good deed, or am I doing that person a wrong deed? I'd be better off not giving the person $100 bill, right? But when I can either just go and get the person food and give them what they need to survive for the day and possibly tomorrow, maybe get them a place. Talk to somebody that's looking for people to hire if I know somebody. Right? We know. We'd rather go and give somebody charitable work and thinking like, hey, we're helping somebody, the camera's recorded. We're gonna be famous. That's how some people think. But the next verse, how can one assure his place? Oh yeah, my apologies. Let's get next one. For when you've made events on the account of yourself, expect rather than to give without expectations of compensation, but instead give unto the poor and the needy in all, and you'll then be blessed, for they have nothing to give in return. And it's not saying, oh, just be stupid on how you give onto people. No, just be genuine. If you're gonna help, even if somebody does have, be genuine. Help the person regardless. Because imagine that they do have, and you help them. They have way more than you, and they happen to help you out because they were really stuck in a situation. Let's say they're a millionaire, and they were really trying, and they really needed help, and they had no access to anything. They come back and give you $1 million. What then? What would you say? And let's just say that you had that opportunity, but somebody else came and you see that that person got $1 million. What would you say? You're gonna try to go and give that person $5 when they ask you for $5 for tank for gas tank? You never know. Let's read the next verse. As Christ said that it is time to feast and prepare, welcomed many to enjoy many there made excuses to leave, because he invited people that were homeless and everything like that. Hmm, that's wild. As this, it made the head of the house angry. He made a request unto his servants to call in the poor and unfortunate, because many of the people thought that the food was, beneath them. And like I said, he invited the poor. And some of the people that were already left, they left because why? That's not standard to their social standard. That's not standard to their social standard, to their expectations of status. They're not on equal footing. Let me say that. Then the next verse says, he then made a call for his servants to plead many to come, for they are invited into his home for supper. And if any come with hatred in their hearts towards another, they cannot be his disciple. And for those that does not commit to serve their weight cannot be his disciple. So doing the things of good and love, bringing forth the spirit of his truth and his example. If you're not doing that, then you're not following the example of Christ. And for sure, you're not doing right. And for sure, you're not doing right. Now, the next verse says, needy, and you'll then be blessed. Oh, yeah, needy. Oh, because I never finished. Yeah. For the needy, and you'll then be blessed, for they have nothing to give in return. And Christ said that it is time to feast, and people. Wait, hold up. My apologies. Give me one moment, please. Oh, that was it. My apologies. That was it. Laptop a little crazy. Give me one moment. But yeah, it's unfortunate though. It's very, very unfortunate. But things happen that is out of our control. So, like I said, we're not here to convert anyone. We're just here to speak of truth, and that's it. No matter the turning, the circular questioning, and the things that could be that were answered and that were not taken as an answer, because people want us to believe and accept their truth, but they don't want to accept other people's truth, and rather they make fun of the people's truth, right? That's why I don't have a truth. I speak only the truth. And being of my Father's word and his truth alone, shall it be as it is. And unto you all, favor unto the rest of you all. Much love to you. And I pray for your discernment. And I pray for your love. I pray for your genuine favor. And I also pray for your salvation, being of our greatest of examples of in him, Yahushua, Yahusha, in him, Eli, Elohim, Adonai. All right? So much love to you all. Shalom, and take care. And you already know what's about to happen, what's about to get down, what's about to get down. Somebody told you they don't love you today. Tell them I say I love you, and I love them. So if they don't like the kiss that I give unto them, I don't care. Okay, I do not care, and I will give them a kiss as well. Booyah, shaka. So much love to you all. Shalom, and take care.